Hey everybody. Well, hello there guys. So I just wanted to share this little bit of news with you. Played 3 ladder games tonight and then won 2, lost 1, and got promoted into Platinum. Hell yeah. So moving up in the ladder just like I wanted, just like I thought I should. So we're going to close this and we're going to take a look. Sunny, very nice mannered Zerg player. Let's see where he was on his placement himself. As we can see, he is indeed a Platinum player. Let's see, 25th in his league. And if we look at his match history for 1v1, ooh, he's been losing quite a bit lately, so yeah. Oh, anyways, let's take a look at my ladder quickly, and then we'll jump into that game that I just played, because there's actually some neat things in that game that might be worth playing. I'm 18th place currently with 391 points, so really close to being back into top 8 for this Platinum League. Shouldn't be too hard to get there. And this, basically he cheesed me in this game, more or less, for 1v1, so that's really why I wanted to go through this, as, you know, okay. So thankfully I do scout the right way, not that it's a huge deal, considering he puts a hatchery right in my base, which actually does help me at one point, I think, but I'm not sure. And for some reason, oh, you know what? Weird. He scouted the wrong way. I guess he saw where my probe was coming from, thought that I was up there, I guess, or maybe it already done cross-positional scout. Anyways, let's just pause this. As we can see, he's basically doing a 10 pool. You can tell. Like, you can just tell. There's, you know, this looks like a 10 pool. The only thing is, yeah, potentially could be like an 8 pool, but really, or 9 pool, but pretty much it's a 10 pool. It's an early aggressive attack, and I know that. And so, yeah, just gonna, sadly, because he puts that there, I cannot do a proper wall off with my cybernetics core. That was pretty smart. I was just about to pull 4 workers off to attack this, and I said no. Of course, supply blocking myself, huge mistake. As you can see, cybernetics core and then the forge coming down. Had this worker in his base, just saw those Zerglings run by. Forge finishes, do a bit of that there, do this, have the Zealot stand here on hold position to make a perfect wall off. But of course, Zealot's looking the other way. This cannon cancel it just in time. And now all of the good old-fashioned action comes, and holy crap, this is really loud, so let's just pause you. Go in the menu, options, audio. Let's make you 15%, because this is super loud for me. I don't know about you guys, but it definitely is for me, all these warpian sounds. So yeah, sadly he does take out this pylon that was powering pretty much everything left here, but really I just want to focus on crisis management when you know you're in a position you're pretty much going to die. Yeah, I supply blocked myself. That sucked, or else this would have gone a lot easier. But one thing you're going to notice is basically I just, you know, say, okay, I'm going to keep mining. I sort of keep building workers whenever I remember, and can't build a pylon anywhere because of this creep, so that's, you know, and I just say, okay, finish the wall off, throw down a couple cannons before that forge goes down. Yep, doesn't matter if this pylon goes down, the forge is so I can still make cannons. Now I've basically got this whole portion of my base covered, maybe a little bit here not, so there we go, another cannon here, and now I've got my entire base covered, and this cannon's pretty safe because he's got no ranged units. And of course, getting another gas, you've noticed that every now and again I am remembering to continue producing workers. And trying to use this probe to draw Zerglings in here didn't quite work, but whatever. Throw down a second gateway, and right now it's just sort of like, I'm just going to focus on my economy. I know for a fact that he's really low on economy because I saw him basically do a 10 pool, and on top of that, a lot of people when they do cheese, they forget to build up their economy. So he's doing an expand though, which is good for him. But he really should be getting more drones out. He is nowhere near enough. And, you know, here you see my stuff going down. Nothing too fancy, got a Zealot coming out, got these 3 cannons, still be able to hold off pretty much, you know, Zerglings, and I can always pull some probes off the line if need be, finishing the wall off in the back here, making it here, so there we go, they can only get through this area. Ooh, that cannon's going to go down. I'm trying to send some workers in to defend it, a little bit slow reaction time, but these 2 cannons will be able to do the rest of the work. As you can see, they do so much damage to Zerglings so fast, that will do a lot, and of course a Zealot coming in, and now I'm remaking another forge because I'm thinking, oh crap. Yeah, I'm going to probably need some more cannons soon because he's probably going to be building a ton more units and attacking. So got the Zealot out here. Hopefully this cannon doesn't die. And throwing down the... Oh, gateway. I thought I was throwing... Okay, well, I should have thrown down a cybernetics core there instead of the gateway. My mistake. But pretty much, as you can see, I'm just building stuff now, very condensed base, using these photon cannons, and once this forge goes up, I'll throw down another cannon too. As you can see, there we go, cybernetics coming down. As you can see, really, these cannons can always rain something, at least this one can. Now I'm going to send in the zealot. There we go, got another zealot out, 3 zealots and 2 cannons. I'll be fine for quite a while. As you see, continuing this tech route, getting the cybernetics, and of course, building another cannon, just, you know, I didn't really need to build 2 here. That was definitely an overreaction by Hutch. I should have cut probably this one, left this one better positioning because it can reach further. But really, I should have only had 3 instead of cannons. And of course, getting out what I can, zealots. And now I'm going to get out a sentry because I've got gas and, well, no minerals. So there we go. As you can see, if we look at the income tab here, I've got a healthy number of 27 harvesters to his 23, so he's really forgetting about his macro in terms of making workers. And of course, he's collecting a ton of gas, which he's not actually using, so not a good choice. Now I send my zealots and I see their bigger force, but draw these back to the cannons, get some free damage, because I don't want these shields to get broken on these units, because that's the worst thing that can happen, is then they take permanent damage. And one thing you're going to notice me do here, well, I got a Stargate out, put a cannon up here. This isn't too important, but the Stargate might be important because, you know, Stargate, it can be a very useful, very useful unit a lot of times, especially in situations like this. They'll probably have a lot of ground forces and won't have much anti-air. As you can see, just leaving 2 units here and sending the rest in, and I have a feeling that he's really not going to have his base that well defended. Of course, a Roach Warren coming down, which I will see in a bit, and I'll be happy to see, and a lot of sentries coming out just because I gotta eat that gas and I want to have those minerals saved up, because I'm going to want to expand. I'm going to want to get back on top of that macro game. So what you saw me do, crisis management there, was, you know, get some forge, get some cannons, just play defensively, keep my economy going, and then get some tech. Start getting tech once I could sort of do that. As you can see, doing a ton of damage. What is the workers lost? Units killed, Control R. If we look at the workers lost, oh, he hasn't lost that many. 4 to my 2, but either way. As you can see, the Roach Warren, I finally see it. And oops, that was a bit of a missed engaging all those Zerglings, but oh well. Running back to my base, I've got a lot of sentries, can force field, not an issue. Got a Void Ray, very happy. Void Rays against players who go Roaches? Hell yeah, great. And I guess he's scouting the map for a hidden expansion, I don't know, or else he's just hiding his Zerglings for whatever reason. And you can see I've got the Nexus going down now, and I'm going to wall this off, so all I really have to worry about is this little space. And the reason why you wall this instead of this is because if they destroy the rocks, then you just defend here, and this is walled off. And of course, these units just taking their attacking those larvae, that finally dies, and still putting out some Void Rays, because I know he has those Roaches. So, and really would like to get some Zealots, except that I'm sort of broke all the time. That cannon didn't cancel in time, oops, but get a force field there, making sure they don't get too much of a run by. Only 1 Zergling, and he changes his mind about fully engaging. So those Void Rays cleaning up, as there's really nothing to deal with the Void Rays right now. And one thing I'd like you to notice is I actually did get my ground weapons 1 while I was still contained in my base, while he still had all this. Why not just do some tech? I can't move out, can't spend all my money, so just do some tech. As you can see, getting +1 air for those Void Rays, and there we go, getting the armor now, as I'm just sort of waiting to be able to do more things, because right now I just don't really, you know, I need more production facilities, need a bit more everything. And now I'm going to just sort of push out across the map, see how he's doing, see how he's macroing, and just feel. One thing I didn't do too well is scout the rest of the map for hidden expansions, because those could have potentially done a lot for him. And I'll just force field the ramp, a little sloppy there, so do a better one. He doesn't even try and bring his units. And yeah, I can just basically kill off this base now, free reign, especially with those Void Rays. Now that the queens are gone, these drones will be going down. Actually, I do let a lot of them escape, surprisingly. 2 of them, actually. Most of them do end up dying. And continually force fielding this ramp, and now I'm going to get my economy up. Every now and again I do forget to build workers, but overall I'm going to be pumping out workers to this base as much as I can remember to do. And ignore the fact that I get supply block a few times, but I definitely shouldn't be allowing myself to do that. And right here, obviously doing some macro back in the base, because I'm not force fielding, not microing. This could have been really bad if the Zerglings had run in right at this moment. Those sentries would have been so vulnerable. There you see, Still having way too much gas and not enough minerals, so doing a lot still. And now making this Wallen just a little bit smaller, make it a little harder for him to get good position, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, you can now see that just working on, still trying to really get that macro up. My army just retreating now. I've done a lot of damage. I saw the Roach Hydra here. I really didn't feel comfortable engaging when I pushed up that ramp, so I just said, sure, I'll back up and run away. And Roach Hydra is something I love to play against. Roach Hydra basically dies to Sentry Stalker, or basically Sentries. Zealots aren't as good in the mix because the thing about Force Fields is use them to cut off the Hydras from their range. They only have like a range 6, I think it is, or range 5. It's one less than the Stalkers. Yeah, range 5, because Stalkers have range 6. But the idea is with Force Fields, you push them back far enough that they can't attack your army. Here, wasn't paying attention, oops, but micro them back. Want to get into a choke with those Force Fields are really, really powerful. And if we look at the income tab, you can just see a very healthy number of harvesters. There we go, getting some good force down. Not microing the best, but you know, ready to force field here if he breaks through, but he took out that cannon. I'm not too worried about. Here you can see just fielding like crazy, trapping those units, making sure that, and of course War Stalkers now finally. And there we go, that's basically crisis management, you know, and a little bit about just, you know, scouting can help, and very well mannered, saying some GGs and well played and nice comeback. And yeah, it was pretty funny to see him try that, but really didn't work in the end. He really just forgot to macro 100%. So I don't know if this is one of those players who got into Platinum League by cheesing everyone or what, but as you can see, he's lost a lot of games lately, so obviously he still needs to work on rounding out some of his skills to become a completely well-rounded player who's versatile in everything. So there we go. That's me getting into Platinum League, the last game I played in Gold, as well as just some stuff about, you know, how to deal with that. And of course, I can't remember if I actually end up expanding in this game. I don't think I do, but because it's GG. But basically, I would be expanding at this point. I really need to be expanding at this point. As you can see, this base is almost getting mined out, and really I should be sending at least a probe around the map to do just a tiny bit of scouting and check for hidden expansions. But of course, I have won the game, so it doesn't matter.